and
This
shared with
conference will now be recorded.
revision. So you don't need to make any notes. So every notes is already prepared and you will be receiving all the documents. So don't make any notes. Just watch, attend the sessions. All the notes is prepared and readily available. Okay. And any question you have in between, you could stop and ask, or you have a chat box. You can park the question there. We end of every session, we will have a couple of minutes to discuss, and we can discuss about any questions. Not only today, in later sessions also, we'll have a couple of minutes end of the session. So, what is SAP? SAP is a ERP, and there are many other ERPs as well in the market. But SAP holds a major share of ERP market, and SAP is like a pioneer in the ERP market, though we have many other ERPs. Why? Because SAP has a seamless integration and between almost every business departments. Because we are calling it as module, let's say SD module or MM module, PP module, FI module. But actually, they are departments in any business. There is a HR department, sales and marketing, finance department, purchasing, procurement, manufacturing. They are departments, right? So the same thing we are calling here as modules. And there should be a seamless integration between these all departments so that the information flows smoothly and we can make a wise decisions. Because if festival season is coming and SD want to ramp up the sales, like they have taken a strategic decision to increase the sales by 5% in this festival season. But if this information is not communicated to other departments of business, let's say, because finance department holds all the other departments in the business. So first thing is we need to update the finance department so that they can allocate budget for promotional activities. At the same time, this has to be updated to production so that they can make the stock available because you promote, but if the material is not available, there is no purpose. So materials are also should be available. So purchasing, procurement, manufacturing, HR. So every department has to be updated about the strategic decisions so that they can make a wise decision of that department and communicate seamlessly across the organization. And yeah, whatever the target has been taken, let's say to increase the 5% sales, that can be achieved. Alone, a sales module cannot do that. All right. So that seamless integration of information is very important in now businesses. So that can be achieved with ERP. And SAP is a ERP. Likewise, SAP, there are many other ERPs. There is Oracle, there is BAN, there is JD Edwards. Microsoft has its own ERP called as MS Dynamics, but Microsoft works on SAP. Complete Microsoft runs on SAP, right? So to that level, SAP holds a major share uh, in the ERP industry. Out of ERP, as I told you, usually we call them as departments, but here we call it as modules. So sales and distribution module will take care of all the sales activities and pre-sales activities, and this also takes care about the distribution of the material to the customer, that is delivery and billing to the customer. There are many other modules in SAP. So this is the core ERP suite where we can see few modules, which we call it as core modules. That means no business can run without these modules because you take any business, there should be a finance, HR, marketing, sales, procurement, manufacturing. So quality management, warehouse management, these are called as core modules. So this is the core ERP suite where we have all the core modules. Apart from that, SAP has another hundreds of modules like new dimensional modules, industry specific modules, or cloud modules, technical modules. Like this, there are various modules in SAP. But it's always advised or recommended to start your career with the core module. The reason is CRM. You know CRM, right? What CRM do? System in the last 20 years are mostly from the year 2000. How we sell the product has been changed. The dynamics, market dynamics has changed because until then you manufacture the product and you deliver it to customer. That's it. That is what the business is. But from year 2000, it's not just manufacturing the material and selling to the customer, but you should also provide service, right? So that's how market has changed. And SAP has introduced a CRM for that. CRM will take care of that front end relations with the customer. SAP SD falls the back end kind of thing. So SAP CRM was introduced in 2000, but later failed multiple times. And in S4 HANA, in the recent, SAP has completely removed that CRM. Why? Because the way the market has changed, you cannot just keep up with one module. Today, today, if you observe, customer themselves creating the orders. You take Uber, you take Amazon, Netflix, or any food delivery app. Customer themselves placing the orders, right? Earlier, it's not the case. We call them or we go to the store and they create the order and deliver the goods. That used to be a process. But today, customer themselves can pull the mobile and place the orders. So when you are into these kind of modules, or that means the area of business, there is a very quick evaluation and you will be fading out if you don't upgrade to something else. Well, so always it's recommended to start with a career in SAP with the core modules because core modules will never go away. Whatever the finance or accounting you are seeing today, even 50 years back also it is the same. Sales is the same, HR is the same, procurement, purchasing, plant maintenance. This will never go away, right? This will always be there. So always it's wise to start a career with the core module. Then you can later, maybe after 4 years or 5 years, something you can upgrade yourself to new dimensional modules, or there are industry specific modules you could upgrade because you cannot, or for a lifetime, you cannot work only in SD or you cannot work only in finance or HRMM, right? So you have to upgrade yourself. But to enter into the industry, always it's advised to start with a core module because, as I told you, example of CRM, there's no more CRM in SAP. So what happened? All the CRM consultants, they don't have option what to do now. So now again they are coming back and learning the SD module, right? So it should not be that case, right? Again, you should not start from scratch. So core modules and then upgrade to new dimensional module or any other modules. There are various other modules. I'll tell you, I'll guide you for the next 10 years what you can do once you enter into the SAP industry. So SAP has started its journey in 1972 by 5 ex-IBM employees. It has been founded. And in 1979, SAP has come up with its first benchmarking product called as R2, which is a standalone on IBM mainframe. R2, that's the product. And at that time, SAP was more of a German or European company. Okay, its presence is more in the Germany and European. But later, in 1993, SAP has come up with a new version of ERP called as R3, Real-Time Three-Tier Architecture. A R3 product, which is a client server, and you can see the jump on countries served. So two countries initially, most of German, 35 countries, see the employees and 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 the customers. So that's how SAP has jumped. It increased everything in the by R3 in 1992. R3 was a very successful product, a solid footing in the industry. And then onwards, SAP was introducing various versions. There are many versions like 4, 4.6, 4.6C, 4.7, ECC 5, ECC 6. Like this, SAP was releasing versions, but SAP never come up with altogether a new innovation. After R2, R3 was a new innovation. But after R3, there was no new innovation. SAP was until 2006. In 2006, the last version what SAP released is ECC 6. Even today, what we are learning is ECC 6. But since then, what SAP is doing, it was releasing patches called as EHPs, enhancement packages. EHP 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, so forth. ECC 6, and the patch what we are using is EHP 7. So in 2015, SAP has come up with a new innovation called as S4HANA. Until this time, that means almost 25, 30 years, SAP has not come up with any new innovation rather than just adding, stuffing the existing application R3. Later it is called as ECC, Enterprise Central Component. So what is the issue with this? Why SAP has come up with a new innovation? So, but if you see the core modules like SD, MM, PP, this has not changed because the way we sell the product is still the same, right? Either we manufacture and sell it or we procure and sell it. So the process of the sales is same, process of accounting is same, so process of procurement is same. Okay, the core concepts of these areas are same. But what has changed? Many new areas has come, right? In the last 20 years, if you observe, there is cloud computing, there is big data, there is IoT, there is artificial intelligence. Down the line 20 years, nobody has seen 1 terabyte data, right? Nobody has seen that 1 terabyte hard drives. Nobody has seen GBs of bandwidth, right? But today, our mobile phones are having 1 terabyte data, right? And we are using GBs. Today, 5G network is of GBs, right? So there is a lots of technology advancement what happened in the last 20, 25 years. SAP has to match that new innovations. So there used to be a major complaint on SAP saying that SAP is slow. Customers complaining saying that SAP is slow. But is really SAP slow? Let's try to understand the R3 structure so that we'll understand why SAP has come up with S4HANA. Okay, this training is only sales and distribution. We are not discussing anything on the S4HANA. S4HANA is a separate training, it's a separate batch. But I need to give you some insights on S4HANA because in the next 1 year, this ECC, whatever we are learning today, will be absolute. I'll tell you what is the process you need to get into the industry, but I need to give you some insights on S4HANA as well. So how SAP has evolved, right? So there was complaints on SAP saying that SAP is slow. Is really SAP slow? Let's try to understand the R3 structure. So this is the R3 structure: presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. These are the three layers. Real, right? Real-time three-tier architecture. So presentation layer is input output, where we give the instructions or commands. Application layer is where SAP is sitting, all the programs and calculations and executions are happening here. And all the database is stored here in the database layer. That means if I want some calculation now, we'll query the application and application should get the data from the database. And once we get the database, then the calculations are done and the results are given back to the presentation layer. This is the process. But let's say I have some 1 billion records here, 1 billion records. Out of that, we need only 10 records. Okay. So the query has been done and system is searching data for this 10 records out of 1 billion record. And it has taken some 1 hour time to search these records. Now this data has been given to application layer and calculation is done and given to presentation layer. So in this whole transaction, where system has spent a lot of time in searching the data, right? Not for calculations, for searching the data. So when system is spending lots of time on the database layer, but database is not owned by SAP. SAP is only an applications program, so it's a package. Database is not owned by SAP, right? So SAP is mounted on some third-party databases like Oracle or Sybase D2K, these databases. So SAP could not come even with a new functionality because of lack in the functionality the database. So customer complained saying that SAP is slow, not for a SD module, but at least MM module and FI module because they have month-end closures, year-end closures. So it takes lots of time to execute those activities. At the same time, customers also complain saying that SAP is not a real-time reporting. Yes, SAP is not a real-time reporting because of its architecture or it is a landscape. SAP is not a three-tier, it's a real-time. But today, you know, right, how important the data is. Any decision today is made on data. If you don't have that real-time data, your decisions are only post-mortem. So, because of the landscape or the architecture of the SAP, there is no real-time reporting. So SAP has to address all these things. So in 2006, until 2006, what SAP was doing is it was just adding all the functionalities into the ERP suite, or else if some functionalities it's no more able to take up, then it's coming with a new dimensional modules. That means in ECC, we have a functionality called as foreign trade, import and exports, a little handled using foreign trade. But today, you see the foreign trade, how complex it has become, right? Lot of sanctions, uncertainty going around the world, wars, right? So lots of sanctions and everything coming up, right? So to handle this, whatever the foreign trade we have in the ECC, it is not able to handle it. You don't know which country goes into sanction tomorrow, which country will go war with another country, right? We are seeing around what's happening. And WTO put sanctions on some countries or some people saying that or some materials you should not buy, sell, or trade this. How do we know that? With the foreign trade, whatever we have, we'll not be able to do it. So now, what SAP has done, it has come up with a module called as GTS, Global Trade Services, which can handle all the complex compliances. All the complex compliances it can handle with this, right? Similarly, SAP has logistics. In the ECC, we have logistics execution, a sub-module where all the deliveries are handled. Okay. So once we create a material, so load it onto the truck, and so in which route that has to go to the customer. So everything is decided here. But today, how complex the logistics has become, right? And how more important as well. Amazon is clearly telling you that your package will be at your place by 8 a.m. on Saturday. How Amazon can tell that? Or you order your food on any food delivery app. It's saying that the food is arriving on 40 minutes. How precisely it's telling? If there is any deviation, immediately it updates, right? Saying that another 10 minutes extra or not at 8 p.m., but not at 8 a.m., but it can be delivered at 8 p.m. Saturday. How precisely we are able to tell this? Because we have a module called as TM, Transportation Management, a very advanced module to the LE. So in the ECC as well, we have these functionalities. Warehouse management, similarly. In the ECC also, we have the warehouse management. But today, just imagine how complex the warehouses has become because of this new age businesses. Huge, you take Costco or you take Whole Foods, you take uh, Tesco or the big Walmarts. Precisely, they can tell you where is this material. You just go and ask the executive there, I want this material. They'll tell you pinpoint, go to that aisle and on the rack, in the second bin, you can see that material. Warehouse management. So you see, what happened is the business are getting complex as day grows. So now, whatever the functionality what SAP has in 1992 with R3 is not the same today, right? It has evolved and they are using lots of new technology, like as I told you, artificial intelligence, big data, IoT, cloud computing. So SAP also need to match to this particular level. So how do SAP do that? It cannot do it on the ECC or the existing application, whatever is available. SAP will not be able to do it because it is burdened with functionality and but its database is not supporting it. So the reason SAP has started with a new innovation to address all these things called as first. So okay, out of this R3, whatever we have discussed here, right? What SAP really needs anyone? A new application or a new database? In the R3, whatever we learned right earlier, what SAP need to focus? Coming with a new ECC
Database.
7 version, right? So there is no point
Database.
SAP release a new ECC 7 version. It needs a new database to handle all this particular complex landscape. So that's where SAP has started, and SAP has come up with a new database, and SAP later come up with a new application S4 HANA. It's been 10 years now. In 2015, SAP has introduced this. Every year a new version, and today we are close to eighth version. SAP has given a roadmap saying that in 2025 we will stop ECC and it will be only S4 HANA from there on. That's how SAP has given a roadmap. So now, how is this challenge for us? So you are now wanting to get into SAP industry, right? As a SAP SD consultant. So now, how you should plan to get into SAP? So today there is no ECC, as I tell you. Even though whatever the ECC we have, they are only support projects. Any new implementation is S4 HANA because all the old ECC customers has to migrate to S4 HANA because SAP has given a roadmap. But can you directly go and learn S4 HANA? Why you waste your money and time on ECC? It's already absolute, right? It's outdated. In the next 2 years, you don't even see that. Why don't you go and learn S4 HANA? You can't do that because there are still migration projects. There are support projects in the ECC, right? So you cannot directly learn S4 HANA. If you have been put into these projects, you will not be able to work, right? Okay. If you learn only ECC, what happens? You are not up to the current market, right? Because today market is S4 HANA. So anybody going for SAP today, any module, not only SD, any module, anybody want to make a SAP career today, you need to learn both ECC and S4 HANA. When you compare S4 HANA with ECC, it is hardly 30% new. 70% is still coming from the ECC, only 30% new, right? But today it is only S4 HANA. You can do an exercise, just go to Naukri, Monster, Dice, LinkedIn and search. You'll see all S4 HANA jobs, not ECC jobs, right? So if you want to make a career, because see, I don't need to tell you this. Today we here to catch up and discuss only ECC, right? So whatever is there in the ECC and I tell you and I leave you, that's it. But no, I need to tell you at least what happens in the next 10 years and how you can plan and grow in the industry. Because you, me, everybody now, we will retire in SAP. For sure, I'll be anyway retiring. You also will retire in SAP. SAP is such a long-term career. Once you enter and you can retire in SAP. That many modules or areas are there in SAP to work, right? So, how your plan should be. It's not just getting a job. So, how sure this training will get you a job? Because that is the end point, right? What is your objective or my objective? Only to get you a job. There is no other fun for us to catch up for next 2 months every day. Only objective for you, me is getting you a job. Will you get a job? First question. Later we can discuss about SAP, right? Because without a job, there is no purpose. You waste your time and money here. Will you get a job? Surely you'll be getting a job. So how confident I am? Because out of the experience what I had in the training, it's been close to 12 years and more than close to 7,000 people from 38 countries. Out of this experience, I can tell you, because I don't know your background, your education qualification, from which country you are, but still I can tell you, you can get a job. So how sure shot I am in 2024 to get you a job? Let me show you something. Very recent things I'll show you. This training objective is to get you a job. Okay, so let me show you something. So you can see the date as well here. It's been hardly 15 days, not more than 15 days, right? 12 lakh package in Deloitte. 12 lakh package in Deloitte. The same guy, because this training objective is not just getting a job, but you will have a choice. The same guy on 6th, that was on 29th of February, right? Got an offer from IBM as well. I'll tell you the package, what experience level you need to target and everything, right? And let me also show you something else. Somebody, so this is as well, yeah, even this, you could see, this is also on the 6th 03, that is hardly 10 days back. Wanted to inform you that I got placed in TCS. But this is my study material, whatever you're seeing on my desktop now, right? This is my study material. Okay. And to what level this training will help? To what level this training will help you? So let me show you. Because how confident this lady was after attending the interview. Uh, yeah, this was the questions what she faced in the interview and she has shared with me. And you see here, not missed a single question. If you watch my older videos, you might have listened to a statement. I tell this statement every batch, every time. In the interviews, if they ask 30 questions, you will answer minimum 25 to 28 questions. You see, not miss a single question. So to that level, this training will help. Okay. So job, you will surely get it, but you should also survive. That is what this training is. It's not just only getting the job. You'll be surviving in the job and you can bargain a very good package. So to that level, this training can be. SAP jobs are seasonal. And these all jobs, what I've shown is in the last 15 days, right? I keep telling you, like, what is the season for SAP? So now let us stop dot on the S4 HANA. You know, right? Why? What is the current market and how SAP has come in these all things. So now let us talk about how you can get into the industry and how I can help in this training. So, okay, in India, you should have minimum 4 years of experience to get into the SAP industry. There is no fresher jobs. Okay, minimum 4 years you need to show some consultants experience and you need to get into the industry with 5 projects. Out of that, one S4 HANA implementation and migration is must. Because you might be wondering, some friends or family, they already tried in SAP, but they could not make it. Okay, they spent a year, but they say that there is no calls. Why I showed you that offers whoever they got? Because many people might be worrying right now about the recession, layoffs. Don't worry, that is a macroeconomics. For our job, nothing to do with macroeconomics. Even 2024, where people are worried about this layoffs, recession. Still, people, my trainees are making the jobs, right? So jobs is there. It's not that it is completely dry dead kind of thing. If somebody is saying that I'm not shortlisted or scheduled, that means they don't know market dynamics, when to upload the resume and how to upload and what all we should have in the resume. So the every requirement, that means every job has some requirement and you need to fit into that requirement. If you're not fitting into that requirement, obviously you will not be shortlisted. Forget about interview. You will not be shortlisted. The first challenge is shortlist for the interview. Interview has to be scheduled for you, right? So to do that, in India, it should be minimum 4 years experience, not more than that. Whatever we are learning in this training is more than the experience what we will be putting in the resume. The knowledge what you are learning is beyond 6, 7 years, but what we are putting in the resume is only 4 years because there is background check, right? You cannot handle more than 4 years background check and 5 projects. Out of that, one is for HANA implementation. This is market dynamics. Without this, your resume will not be shortlisted. If you're anybody from US, Canada, UK, you should have minimum 6 to 9 years experience. Similarly, 5 plus projects. Not less than this, not more than this. And ballpark figure what you can expect is 90 to 110K. 90 to 110K is a pretty standard what you can expect. Can also extend up to 150K. Some good project, depending upon your visa status, it can extend up to 150K, but this is a pretty standard what you could expect with this experience, not more than this, less than this. In India, 13 to 15 lakhs is what you can expect with this experience. And I just showed you, right? The guy who got 13.5 lakhs. Okay. Anything less than this, you are underselling yourself. Don't be so desperate. You want a job, I just go ahead with 8 lakh package as well. No, you deserve better. Just give a chance for second, third interview, take the counter offer, and you can easily bargain this package. Every project with 4 years experience has a budget allocated between 13 to 15 lakhs. So don't be so desperate and undersell yourself for 8 lakhs or 10 lakhs project package. Give some time, attend one or two more interviews and take a counter offer. 13 to 15 lakhs is pretty decent what you can handle with a background check also can be handled. Anything beyond this, they ask some other documents which we cannot handle. They ask bank statements and this all things. So that we'll discuss later. Okay. Today here we are to discuss about how you can make a career, right? In US, this is what you can expect. So why to go with 4 years? Might be complex to handle. I'll go with 2, 3 years. You will not be shortlisted. There is no difference between 3 years and 4 years. Maybe 10% difference. But 4 years are paid 13 to 15 lakhs. 3 years are paid between 8 to 10 lakhs. That means your fear will take out 4 lakhs package from you. Okay. I'm here to help you and guide you and motivate. So don't undersell. That is the first thing what you need to know when you're getting into SAP. There are options available. So don't undersell yourself. Don't be so desperate. I want a job. You will definitely get it. Better job. Because in today's scenario, everybody, your appraisal season has been done. You know what appraisals they have given today. Just imagine going from this package to this package, how much time it may take in the industry now. It will take another 3 years for you to reach this package. Because next 3, 4 years also the situation will be the same on the appraisals, right? So this is what you could expect, and this is what the takeaway of the training. Anybody after this training, you can easily mention 4 years of experience in India and US, Canada, you can mention 6 to 9 years, and this is what you could expect, right? So SAP jobs are seasonal jobs. You don't find them round the year. Round the year, you'll have the jobs, but they are iteration jobs. So some very good opportunities are between March to May. This is the first season. We usually consider it as. The second season is September 5th to November 22nd, precisely. You see, The moment we are in March right now, March 15th, the moment we are in March, all 7 people got placed from my training. I showed you 2 people now, right? There is one more in the email, and 3 people called me and updated. Total, just in the last 15 days, 7 people got placed. As the season starts, this is how it would be, right? So, if somebody is saying that there is no calls, I uploaded the resume 1 month, just ask them which month they uploaded the resume. Okay? Because precisely I'm telling that November 22nd market closed because from there holiday season starts. Some businesses even shut off their servers as well. It's a holiday season, nobody working. So how you will get the calls, right? All the recruitments, but let's say you take March to May. Why March to May? Budget season has done. All the new project budget allocations will be done. Hiring, everything will be done and closed by May, right? So if you upload your resume in June, why would anybody hire you? Because already the hiring season has completed, budget allocations has been done. So SAP, this is what the first thing you need to know. Many people give up in SAP for this reason. They don't know market dynamics, when like how is the market, what requirement, what I need to prepare, or when to upload the resume. Just randomly go to some institute, learn and upload. That doesn't work in SAP, right? So very precisely, you see, like in the anyway, you will be in the batch. I'll show you in the next 10 days how many people would be getting placed. The moment March falls, this is how we see the recruitments. And the similarly in the September as well. The September 5th and 10th around, we will see 4 or 5 people getting placed immediately. Right? So this is what. So this batch you could either try for this first season because we'll try to complete this training before May itself, mid of the May, because March to April, April to May, right? You still have 15-20 days time. You can give a first try. Second try would be in September. In between also you can try. But what is the issue is, as I told you, right? We need to take care of every single point. As you know the rule in the corporate, once you upload your resume, you cannot re-upload again for next 3 months. Some companies has 6 months. Anybody, you know this? I hope you know this, right? Once you attend an interview for any company, you cannot re-again attend the interview for 3 to 6 months. So why I'm telling that first you try now and then go to September 6th. Why can't you upload in June? Because you upload in June. Let's assume that you are scheduled for some interview, attended it. If you cannot make it, you cannot again re-attend for 3 months. June, July, August, September. Some if that is 6 months, you will lost a precious season. Many people has done this, right? So you should not lose this season. Take some time, wait, prepare a little more, and go in the season rather than just randomly uploading and attending. Because see, the top 5 companies or 10 companies, they will have interviews round the year, but they don't release offers. You might be knowing. Some of your friends you might have seen saying that my interview is done 6 months back or 3 months back, but I am not onboarded or not received offer letter. You will be seeing many people like that. Why? Because these companies entertain interviews round the year, but only when they want they release the offer. So you should not get into the trap like to just upload the resume and waste your precious season and are getting blocked in some company for the next 3 months or 6 months. And your CV also getting old, right? Your CV also will get old by the time because any recruiter will search with resume freshness. You upload resume 3 months back, that means you uploaded, it shows 3 months back. Either you might have got offer, your notice period is also completed. So no interviewer will call you because any recruiter will search the resumes in the portal with freshness last 1 week. Because you uploaded 1 week means you still have the notice period and you're ready to give interviews, right? So you should not lose that opportunities. There are many tips and tricks like this, what we need to do, and we will do this all. Right? As we proceed in the training, I'll tell you what all we need to do. We also have one session on the resume preparation where I'll guide you how your resume should be, what all the inclusions and exclusions in the resume. This all we'll discuss in the resume preparation session. And as we proceed, I'll also give you many tips like this, how you can handle the interviews process and everything. It will be a very smooth process. because out of the experience, whatever the guidelines or the insights I give you will definitely help you and boost your confidence, right? So this is what you could expect, the 4 years, the package, and this. Okay, now how you will make into the industry. So what is your efforts? So coming to the documents, notes, I'll provide you everything. As I told you, don't make any notes, right? So everything is available. Every piece of question in the interview they ask, it is already documented and available with us. The tons of documents I'll be providing you and very good study material as well. And every scenario you name it, it is already documented with us. Tons of documents, right? So these are some actually from the previous batch who got earlier batches, some testimonials. But yeah, you could also see a testimonial video on my YouTube channel as well. Just one line you notice in that, forget about the package and number of offers what they got, but one line you will be seeing in every testimonial, that is, thanks for the guidance, or we followed your guidance. Because subject you can learn even from Udemy. Udemy also has a lot of SB courses. Subject you can learn, but you cannot make into industry. You will not get a job with Udemy course. The reason is learning subject is different, and recruitment, the process handling, that is different. In this training, you need a mentor, not a trainer, to just teach you the subject. You need a mentor to handle and handhold you until you get placed. Because you need to understand your job description first. Okay, you are done with your training. Tomorrow interview is scheduled. You should know your job description, right? So that you can expect or prepare for that interview. With whom you will discuss. You learn from Udemy, nobody's there, right? So here in this training, I am here. You're scheduled for a job interview. Just send over the JD to me, and we can discuss. I can give some pointers where all you need to stress and what points you need to prepare. To that level, we will be discussing. And you get two offers. What you need to choose. Even that. Let me also show you something. Yesterday, another person also got a job. One moment. One, let me pull it. Just to yesterday, I guess I got a message. Yeah. So let me show you. It's just hardly a day back. When the season starts, this is how it would be. Every day, two, three people. Just what is today? Today is Thursday, right? Yeah, on Tuesday. So Hyperion cleared the interview and got an offer, right? But he is little nervous how he will make into the industry. But don't worry. Getting the offer itself is a great achievement. Later, everything time will teach you. Everything you cannot do it, right? But he cleared an interview and got an offer. So getting a job is easy with this training and the guidance. Pretty easily you will be doing it. So let us not much worry about the job, right? So how you will get a job? What all like efforts needed from your side? How you will plan this 2 months? So out of my this experience, a bird's eye view on the training, recruitment, this all, anybody can get a job in 4 to 6 months. SAP SD, I'm not talking about any other module. If you take it takes 7 to 8 months. You take FI, it will take 1 year. But SD, anybody can get a job in 4 to 6 months. Pretty easy. There are people who got job in 2 months, 3 months as well. By the time we finish the training, there are people who got job, right? So anybody can do it this. So how? With a proper planning, we have a 6 into 6 formula. Just follow this, you'll be able to do it. This may not be possible with everyone. You extend it to 6 months. But you follow this formula, you will be placed in 4 months. So what is this is 6 into 6? That is 6 hours per day for 6 months. I'm taking the highest, not to exaggerate. I'm taking the highest. 6 months. I'm putting it as 6 months, but there are people pretty easily who made it in 4 months as well. Okay. So I just showed you, one moment. I just showed you that TCS offer, right? The lady who got on 6th March, she has texted me, right? Let me show you her first message when she reached me. I think she is from my December batch, last December. Okay, so let me show her first message. Show you the date. So you could see here, 4th to 12, she has joined. So gave a call, could not connect. Okay. So as I told you, she is from the December batch. December, January, February we completed, and March. 2 months, right? So if you really want to get into the industry, you really want a job, this even within 2 months also you can get a job. But like season favored her anyway now. So it will also favor you. So what is this 6 into 6? 6 hours a day. So if you are a working mom or you are busy with the schedules, this may not be possible, but at least 3 hours you need. Minimum is 3 hours, not less than that. You don't need to quit your job saying that I'm very busy. I quit my job. I have 24 hours. I'll spend 10 hours in SAP. You don't have anything to do for 10 hours in SAP. So don't quit job. You don't need that much time to prepare for SAP. 3 hours to 5 hours is much more than enough what you can do in SAP. If somebody is saying that I am preparing for 10 hours a day, you're wasting your time. You're not preparing for groups and competing with thousands of people, right? In interview, hardly 10 people, 20 people comes. Out of 10, 20 people, pretty easily we can make that interview. This is not a UPS like you need to prepare 10, 20 hours. 3 hours to 5 hours is maximum what you need. So you don't need to quit a job anybody. While working also, you can do this training and get a job comfortably. So 1 hour is our class every day. You get a recorded video after every session, but I encourage you to please attend the sessions. Discipline is very important, and attending sessions will give you that level of discipline. Videos, you will get it. You can watch it any number of times. But attending class is something different, which will every day create that motivation in you to get a job. I highly encourage you to attend the sessions every day. 1 hour is class. For sure, we need to do that. And you will be getting a video. So watch that video for another 1 hour. Before doing anything, watch that video first. Okay. The next is, and let me also show you something. So let me also show you something. Let us try to just give me 2 minutes before going to this. What we'll do is very recent questions, right? The TCS on 6th March, whatever she got placed, she has sent me the questions, right? Let me show you these questions from my study material. As I told you, every you go for interview and they ask like 30 questions. I keep telling that 25 to 30, 28 questions you will answer. How confident I am and is my statement matching with the industry? Let us check. And then I'll tell you this 6 into 6 formula. Okay, you see, there is a question called as explain landscape. Tell about yourself. That is a pretty standard question anyway. Let's leave that. Okay, so what is the question here? Explain landscape. In the study material, you see SAP landscape. This is what they asked. Explain landscape, right? That's one question. Oh. Types of requests. You see the next question, types of request. Just to show you how short this training would be and how easily you will get a job because you are more stressed about the job, right? This easy you will be able to get the job. So they asked a question on types of requests. What is the types of requests? Two types. You see, clearly it is written and highlighted as well. I keep telling in my every batch, if something is highlighted in my document, don't leave it. That is going to be your interview question, right? Types of request. Then item category determination, right? The next question is item category determination. Item category determination. You see, item category determination highlighted. As I just told you, right? If something is highlighted in the document, that itself will be the interview questions. Anybody from the previous batch, you can relate it, right? That's item category determination. Then what is usage? Right? The next question is what is usage? And one more question is also there. Both are in the single screen actually. You see this 16 fields of pricing? The 16 fields of pricing and usage. This comes in the same screen. You see 16 fields of pricing and usage. That's what they asked the question, right? Sorry, one moment. It comes in item category. So 16 fields I just showed you, and let me take you through item category. That's a followed question next to the item category. What is item category determination and what is usage? They were asking, right? So it's here 132, 132 and usage. So out of the first five questions, what we are seeing over there, we could see almost these questions. Gaps in your project and SAP methodology. My training always starts with SAP methodology. We'll directly not jump into uh, subject. First, we'll try to understand as a consultant what is our roles and responsibility, and then only we will be going to the actual subject, SAP methodology, right? So no question would be out of our scope. Everything is within the training gaps, right? Condition group or group. So every question I can show you here. Every question, whatever we are seeing, I can show you in the document itself. It is documented. So that sure shot this training would be. Nothing will go out of our scope. So the reason I tell, if they ask 30 questions, you will answer minimum 25 to 28. When you are able to answer 25 to 28, what is the point to reject? Only thing is you need to handle the documentation, background verification. That's it. From the interview perspective, they cannot reject you because you answered almost 25 to 28 questions. There's no point of rejecting you. But only thing is background check need to be clear. That also I'll guide you later anyway. But that sure shot this training would be, as I just showed you, every question would be from the training itself. And it is documented. Reading the document, that's the reason I tell you, before doing anything, first watch the video, whatever we have discussed in that day. Then read the study material. Okay, once you watch the video, whatever we discussed on that day, read the study material because we have a very good study material for every topic. Then read that. Then practice in the system. Every day you don't need practice because there will be theoretical concepts. Okay. So reading also will not take much time because class, let's say we have for 1 hour, the video will be 1 hour, you need to watch it. But to read that concept in the study material may take hardly 10 minutes. To practice may take 30 minutes. And the other 1 hour question and answers. We have a topic wise question and answers. So how you gauge yourself end of the day? Okay, training is done or topic is done. You know the topic or not? How you will gauge yourself because it's not academic program. We cannot conduct a test or something. We'll have a mock interview, but We cannot conduct tests or something. You need to self-evaluate. In between, I'll be asking many questions in the training, but how you evaluate yourself saying that I've done with this topic and I know it. That is only through topic-wise interview questions. So every topic has interview questions and you should be able to answer them, right? Just now they asked a question, right, on SAP methodology. It is documented. Gap, there is a document. Let's say landscape, you'll see somewhere the question on the landscape as well. So request, what is the types of requests? They asked a question, right? So how many types of requests are there? This is the question they asked. So every question, that means if you are able to answer these questions, that means you are done with that topic. And the interviews also, you'll be facing the same questions, not anything more or less. Okay, hardly 5% would be different. That we can, anybody can excuse that, right? So SAP methodology, this is the same question they asked, right? So this is how it is. So first attempt whatever the topic we discussed, class, attend the rewatch that video, read that concept, practice that concept, and give the attempt of that particular topic wise question so that you make sure whether you are done with this topic or not. You are not able to do this, again repeat the process. Watch the video, read, practice, and finish it. If you are able to do this from day one, 2 months is enough. That means by the time you finish the training, you are done with all the topics. Hardly here in the 10 days, you can upload your resume. Right? So this is what the 6 into 6 formula. Another 1 hour is we have a question bank of 2500 questions, which you can randomly read every day, some 10-15 questions. That is topic wise, not topic wise, random questions here and there, everything, what are possible questions you will be facing in the interview. That means if some questions are going out of this document, out study material, that will be definitely covered in these questions, right? So this is the 6 hours a day, and this is for 6 months. But as I told you, 6 months is a highest possibility what I am taking. You can do it within 4 months pretty easily if you are following this from day one. Guidance is very important. You have to follow my guidelines. That's it. You don't do anything else. You use my experience and efforts. Because from your side, the commitment is to attend the sessions and do this activity. Rest is study materials, interview questions, scenarios, resume preparation. These all are my efforts I'm giving you. 50% is my efforts. I'm done with this, right? Other 50% from your side is just make use of my 50% efforts. Whatever I'm guiding you, if I tell you to do this, just do this. If no, no, to that level. Okay. And to what level this training will help? And will interviewers appreciate candidates? Anyone? Have you seen or faced this situation like interviewers appreciating the candidate, saying that your knowledge is exceptional or you are very good at this concept? Have anybody you noticed it? Very rarely or usually that ego or arrogance would be there with the interviewers. Never they appreciate the candidates. Okay, very rarely it will happen, right? But majority times in my training we see interviewers appreciating the candidates. Even very recent, I showed you that offer, right? The guy who got offer. Even with him also the same situation. Interviewer was appreciating, saying that your knowledge is very good, and you can even here you can see somewhere. Okay, not this. Very rarely interviewers appreciate. This. This is a very recent interview. Yeah, you see, interviewer has praised my knowledge. Why would interview do that, right? Unless until you make some exceptional performance in the interview, why would an interviewer appreciate a candidate? So to that level, this training would be. It's not just learning the concepts, but we will definitely make into the industry with the job. That is secondary. But to this level, because see, when you are able to do it to this level, you will have the bargaining power. So the reason I keep telling that don't undersell yourself. You don't need to do that. There are many jobs. You can take counter offers. So You don't need to undersell yourself and so desperate that I need a job. You give 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, I'll join. No, right? To that level, when you are able to answer 25 to 28 questions and when interviewer is appreciating your knowledge, you have that bargaining power. You can ask for the joining bonus. If you watch my uh, that testimonial video, you will see that couple of people has bargained joining bonus of 1.5 lakh, 2 lakhs, where people are worried to get a job and even one job is enough for them. We are demanding joining bonus. When you can do this, when you have that bargaining power, to that level, this training will help you, right? So, okay, you learned SD, you made into SD. What is next? Okay, now you're an SD consultant, let's say. You got a job. Then what is your career graph for the next 10 years? What you need to do? Will you work for SD in the next 10 years or lifetime? No. So you need to plan for the next 10 years where all you need to upgrade yourself because you need to have a clear thought for next 10 years once you get into the SD or SAP. It's not that let me get a job and I'm done. I achieved everything. No. So at least 10 years. So what you can do, how you will upgrade yourself and how you see yourself in the SAP for the next 10 years. Start with SD. That's what we are doing now. Then what to upgrade, what modules to upgrade so that you can bargain a better dollar rate and long jump in the packages. So today you are getting 15 lakhs. In the next 5 years, your package should be some 30, 40 lakhs. How you can happen? That kind of value you need to add to your profile. If you are still an SD consultant, they will pay hardly in the next 5 years. Your 15 lakhs will be growing to hardly 20 or 22 lakhs, not more than that. But when your package will go to 15 lakhs to 40 lakhs, when you add a lot of value to your profile, how you can add value to your profile? By adding some new skill sets. So what is that skill set you can add? That is upgrading to new modules in SAP. So what modules we need to upgrade? As I told you, there are 100 plus modules in SAP. Just to see around yourself what's happening and where the issue is. The first issue what you'll be seeing or everybody we notice today is it's not issue, but how the business is transforming or changing. That is subscription based. Today, you can buy a water filter on subscription, even a razor on subscription, Spotify. You don't need to buy a complete product today. Netflix on subscription, right? You can buy a car on subscription. Earlier it is manufacture and sell the product. That is the business models. But today what happened? As the prices has hugely increased, where customers cannot afford, or customers once buy it, they cannot come out, right? So what even today, um, pay for use, or software as a service, or a desktop as a service, or a device as a service. You want it, just take rent, subscription, rent it, and just you done, you give it back. That's it. So the complete business model is changing to subscription model. It has started and it will evolve in the continuing coming years. BRIM, there is one module in SAP which is handling this subscription based business, right? So this is one area which you can focus. Another area is compliances. We are seeing lots of unrest around the world, right? Imports and exports. Tomorrow, this country goes to war, and WTO says that sanction on you, you cannot do business with that country. What happens? Which country goes to war? We don't know. How do we handle this import and export compliance issues? GTS, Global Trade Services. And this unrest will continue further. It will not go down for sure, right? Then a lots of supply chain is happening around the world, right? Millions and millions of supply chain is happening around the world because of the e-commerce and everything. So how every parcel, a piece of $1 parcel is also trace and trackable. TM, transportation management. And to handle the supply chain, you need warehouses. And precisely you need to pinpoint saying that out of Amazon 1 lakh square foot warehouse, Even a $1 material also is precisely tracked and traced and delivered to the customer. Warehouse management. So these are some areas where you need to upgrade in the next 10 years so that you can create a huge value for your profile and you're always on demand. You will never be on bench. Even in the appraisal meeting, you can easily bargain 20-25% minimum when you have this kind of skill sets, right? So this is what the plan should be for next 10 years. Start with SD today. Every 2 years, you upgrade to this module. Or maybe if you're more interested, every 6 months also you can do, every 1 year also you can do. But this is the areas which you can look into so that you can create a huge demand for your profile. 10 people come into the interview, 7 people are SD consultants. Right away, when I say SD, it is always with S4 HANA. Okay, when I say SD, it is S4 HANA. 7 people are SD, straight away filtered because other people are SD plus either EWM or BRIM. That means your skill set itself is giving away the competition. So you need to compete only with these 3 people, not with all the 10 people, because these 10 people are shortlisted or filtered with their resume skill set itself because they don't have any additional skill set. Why would any business take only SD consultant when a profile with SD BRIM, SD EWM is or some other module is available? Why would they hire these guys, right? So this is how you need to create a demand for your profile to better margin. Like you can ask for 20-25% minimum hike. They cannot lose to afford you. Because very rarely people they find with these kind of skill sets combinations, so they cannot afford losing you. So 25% you ask, 30% you ask, plus or minus, definitely they will offer you, right? So this is what your plan should be for the next 10 years once you get into the SAP. But getting into the SAP, as I told you, this training will help. And the takeaway of this training is only to get you a job. There is no other purpose for us to catch up, right? So my efforts would be 100% on this line. What I was doing since last 12 years, that would be the same even today, even for this March 2024 batch also. I'll do put the same efforts, right? So this is for today on the takeaway of the training. So any questions, please go ahead. Yeah, so I have seen a question on chat box. Doesn't matter 15 years, 20 years experience you are having, or if your age is 50, don't matter. In SAP, you don't find fresher jobs. The reason is freshers don't add any value to a company, right? There's no value they add. But people like you, who is already having 15 years in some domain, let's say in manufacturing or chemical industry, cement industry, or process industry, you already have experience and you will add value to SAP, right? If there is some business, because in SAP there are some exclusive partners as well who do implementation only for certain industries. Some businesses are very good in handling pharma projects. Some businesses are very good in executing oil and gas projects. They are pioneers and they do only that implementations. Let's say you have a domain experience of oil and gas for last 10-15 years, and now you are saying that I'm also SAP consultant with 4 years experience. They give more value to you rather than taking the fresher or some other experienced guy, right? So if you are experienced, that also is taken into consideration in SAP. So whether you are 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, whether you are age of 40, 45, 50, doesn't matter. The eligibility criteria in SAP is graduate. Any graduate, that is 10 plus 2 plus 3 years education in India plus 4 years of experience, what you need to show. That is your eligibility. Graduation plus 4 years. Yeah, some more questions I could say. I think I answered your question, Shankar. Further, any question, you could also text me or you can ask anybody. Like this is a interactive session. Even further going also, it will be interactive session. It's not one-sided. I have not muted you, but I request you to mute yourself so that we don't want unwise noises to record in the video so that you lose some important points. But at any point you have a question, you could unmute, answer, and immediately mute yourself. Okay, this is a complete interactive session. You can ask questions. Okay, I could see some more questions. For SD, I don't provide. Okay, so let me come to that. I see a question. What is the difference between ECC and SD? ECC is a ERP. The application name, the ERP name is ECC. SAP ECC. That is Enterprise Central Component. That is a ERP. Under ERP, we have modules or departments. That means you can take this as a business. ECC, let's say, is a business. In a business, we have various departments, right? SD, like sales and distribution, manufacturing, materials management, or finance, HR. There will be departments, right? The similar way, ECC is a ERP, SD is a module out of it, right? Is that clear? Somebody, Manisha, is this clear for you? And yeah, coming to the system access, for SD, I don't provide system access. I can give the contact of the vendor. You can buy it from them. Or if you know somebody else or you already have access, you can use it. Okay. This vendor will charge roughly 1,000 to 1,500 for 3 months or less than $20 or equivalent to $20 for 3 months. Okay. Reliable contact. But you the no business connection. You know somebody else or you have seen some offer on the online, you just buy it. But SD, I don't provide server. S4 HANA, I provide 2 months server access. AATP is now in S4 HANA. It is nothing to do with ECC. AATP was part of APO, but now a separate license available on S4 HANA. Right? So that is from Rajesh, your question. And certification for a ECC, there is no more certification because it's an outgoing product, right? So if you want to take certification, you need to take S4 HANA certification. There are two levels of certification, associate and upskill. So depending upon what you need, you can take that certifications of S4 HANA. As ECC is outgoing product, so we don't have any certification available now. The AATP you learn in S4 HANA, right? Yeah. Any other questions? Go ahead. Any kind of question you have, a question on the training or getting a job or your personal gaps or anything in the career, any kind of question. Yeah. So as I already told you, doesn't matter, or else let me put it this way. Except in MBBS, I have trained everybody. I have trained a B Pharmacy, Biotechnology, BCom, BTech, BSc. I trained every graduate except an MBBS, I can say. That means doesn't matter whether you are coming from a technical background, non-technical background, you are a sales manager, doesn't matter. Only thing is you need to be a graduate and you should be able to show that 4 years of experience you are eligible. Anybody. And for SAP SD module, you don't need to be an MBA sales or you don't need to have any prior sales or marketing experience. Zero. You don't need anything. Graduate who can show 4 years of experience is eligible for this training. Rest anything you will learn in the training. I will teach you. In this training, we are not only learning about SAP, we will also learn some general knowledge. Because if I take some terminology, consignments, how many people of you know what is consignments? Anyone? Or do you know what is drop shipment? You learn this in the training. You will learn this. This training is to teach you these all things, right? It's not only SAP. We will also learn some business terminology and general knowledge as well. Okay. So don't worry. Everything you learn in this training. SEM is different. SEM is a very broader term. SEM is different. SAP has separate module on that. Yeah. Any other questions, anyone? You could ask. You could unmute yourself and you can ask. You'll see a red mic, right? You just click on that and you could ask.
Sir, one question. So,
Good.
so we don't have any business process or any end user experience or domain experience, but still we can
Mhm.
understand the SAP SD and sustain
Absolutely.
without knowing.
Absolutely. See, the yeah, you can do SD Without having any prior background, only thing you can learn is SD. You cannot learn MM, you cannot learn FI, nothing module. That's the beauty of SD. Because see, if I say dunning, if I say reorder planning point, or if I say reconciliation, do you understand what is this? No, right? Only people with domain knowledge will understand this. What is reorder planning point, or what is dunning, or what is reconciliation? But if I say inquiry, if I say quotation, if I say order, if I say delivery, if I say return, do I need to teach you this terminology? Everybody? Don't you know what is an order? Returns? Credit memo? So by nature itself, we know this process. Everybody, we are doing the same thing on Amazon, the same thing we are doing on Uber, right? But what we are trying to do is we are trying to learn in SAP. Okay? How the process goes OTC, order to cash, we are learning in SAP. But MM and FI, you cannot just right away walk in and learn it without a domain knowledge. If you should have that commerce or accounting background to learn FI. Without that, zero, you cannot understand anything. Similar way, MM also the same thing. You don't have any prior knowledge on purchasing or procurement. You cannot understand because if they say that lean warehouse, what is lean warehouse? You don't understand anything. But SD, anybody can understand. A layman can understand because it is all about inquiry, quotation, order, credit memo, debit memo, returns. We know all these things. We are doing that on Amazon, everybody. But only thing we are learning that on SAP. So pretty easy. You don't need to have any prior experience or knowledge. You learn everything in the training. No, CS is completely a different module and we don't cover anything in the CS here. This is only a sales and distribution module, nothing on the service side. That's a separate module. SAP CS is a separate module. Yeah, any other questions,
Hi,
anyone?
Praveen.
Yeah, good. Please.
Yeah, if you're training for SD module and we are giving the interview, and if they are expecting like X4 HANA experience as well, how to handle that situation and for
No, you need to
upgrading.
learn both. You need to learn both. When I say SD today and you're uploading your resume, I mean it is SD plus S4 HANA. Okay. You will, end of the day, you will upload your resume with SD plus S4 HANA. You need to learn both SD plus S4 HANA. Either you do
But
both parallelly, you do one after other, but you are when you are the date you are uploading your resume, it is SD plus S4 HANA, 4 years, 5 projects.
okay, but this training will it cover S4 HANA for
Only SD.
basics? Or,
No, no, no. This training is only for SD module. S4 HANA, my training is on weekends and it's a separate batch. If and this weekend a new batch is starting, if somebody is interested, you ping me on WhatsApp. I will send you the links for that class as well. You can attend first 2 classes. Okay. This training is only sales and distribution. And I recommend everybody to go parallelly both with SD plus S4 HANA. Even though you don't have any prior experience on SAP or SD, no issues. You leave it on me. I'll make you understand the subject for SD plus S4 HANA. I recommend you to go for both. The exception is you cannot manage time at the moment or you cannot handle the financials for both the courses. Then you go with SD first. Even you get a 1% chance, I recommend you to go both. Okay. So when I say SD,
okay,
it should be end of the day, it should be SD plus S4 HANA. But this training is only for SD.
okay.
Yeah, good. Any other questions?
Sir, what about implementation and support activities will be dealt in the class?
So there is no ECC implementation. In 2017 itself, SAP has stopped ECC implementation. Today, implementations are only S4 HANA implementation. Okay, in the ECC, it will be only a support project. But we will learn on the implementation project as well because as I just showed you the questions, right? The recent question they have asked on SAP methodology, they have asked on gaps. That means they're also asking questions on, they ask both actually. It's a mix of both. They have asked the questions, ECC implementation and S4 HANA implementation also they asked, just to compare and contrast. Sorry. If you see here, this is ECC implementation, which is no more available. But you see these questions, BRD. This is S4 HANA. We do BRD in S4 HANA, right? So they asked both actually, ECC and so we cannot skip or ignore SAP methodology for another next 3-4 years at least. We need to know this. Yeah. Any other questions, anyone, please? Okay, some question on the chat box. Yes, as I told you, resume preparation is part of this training, and we'll have one session on resume preparation where we'll be discussing, and we also have some sample resumes. I'll share it with you. So the process goes like this. We have one resume preparation session where I'll be discussing you what all should be there, inclusions, exclusions, how to prepare the resumes and everything we'll discuss. Then I want you to prepare your sample draft resume and send it over. We'll have a one-on-one call. We'll discuss because everybody profile is different. So we'll discuss one-to-one and we'll freeze the resume. Only on my approval, you will upload the resume. Okay. Because people do very silly mistakes in the resume. You think that you're done with resume preparation, but how silly mistakes they do? That is, on the professional summary, it is written as work done 5 projects. But when we see in the resume, there will be only 4 projects. Interviewers are smart. Okay. It's not that, okay, whatever you write in the resume, they'll accept. No, they're very smart. Because we put some random date, let's say June 22 and year 2021, you got a job. 2021 on June 22, 2020, no, June 22. Your interview recruiter will check in the calendar. What is this June 22, 2021? Whether it is a Sunday or Saturday or a holiday, they'll check it. So it's not that blindly we create whatever the resume we want and we just go ahead. No. Interviewers are such smart, they will check your resume in the offer letter, whatever the date is printed, and whether that date is a holiday or a working day also, they will check it. And I'll also show you one simple mistake. My trainee itself, I'll show you a sample. Because even though how many times we discuss this, or to put it this way, 50% of your job in SAP, in SAP at least, 50% of your job you will get through your resume. If you are good and done with your resume, 50% job your resume itself will give you because that thorough you should be in resume. Let me show you something. I just switched off my screen. So this is from one of my training. Let me, very recently, he has prepared a resume and sent to me. Sorry, to just go through. As I told you, only on my approval, you will upload the resume. Everything looks fine. Can anybody find out something out of this? Professional summary. Can you find out something, anyone here? Anything wrong? You see this? December 2018, September 2019, almost 9 months or 11 months. What happened between this time? There cannot be breaks, right, in the career. If you have a break, you should have a valid reason. But this guy is not showing any breaks. But you see here, December 2018 and September 2019, almost there is a 9 to 10 months gap. What happened between this time? So you just prepare a resume, upload it, and the interviewer asks this. You will be stumbled. You go blank, right? That's enough. So recruiters are smart. How many projects here? One implementation, three support, right? It is mentioned as one implementation, three support, correct? 1 implementation, 3 support. You see, migration and support, implementation and support, and implementation. You see, 1 implementation, right? But here you see, project 2 is implementation, project 3 is 1 is also implementation. So, as I told you, if you want SD, you can learn from Udemy also. But to get a job, that will not help. Someone, a mentor like me, can help you. Recruiters are smart in checking these things, and we know the recruiter mindset as well. What they check, what points they check, which usually common public don't know what a recruiter will check, right? But we know. So this all will take care. That is what, as I told you, the resume preparation we discuss. And one-on-one session, I'll go through individual resume. I'll give you pointers, what to do, what not to do, and what is these corrections, so that once I approve, you can upload your resume. Excuse me. Right? Only on my approval, you'll upload the resume. And again, uploading resume also, we have lots of tips and tricks. We'll discuss all that. Yeah. Any question? Yes, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah. Any other questions, anyone? I'll tell you how to pick the projects, what should be in your resume, everything we'll discuss in the resume preparation. Yeah. So, any last question before we close for today? Sorry, excuse me. I was having an earlier session as well. Since 6:15, I was continuously talking, so I need some water. Yeah. Any questions before we close for today? Okay, hope so no questions. So we can call it a day today. Class 2 link is also in the same email. So request everybody to join class 2 as well so that we can discuss some subject tomorrow. We'll discuss on what is landscape, what is client. We'll discuss tomorrow. As I showed you, there was a question on what is your landscape, right? So we think that initial sessions are, first sessions are basics, but no, they are also very important. Whatever is the last session is important, the first session is also equivalent important. Okay. So thanks everyone for attending today's session, and we'll catch up tomorrow, and we'll discuss a little subject on tomorrow, and we'll continue. Good day everyone, and catch up tomorrow. Bye bye. In the same email, you have the class 2 link. You could join with that. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you.